Are you thinking of spending money on Genesis crystals? If yes, then I recommend watching this because it might just save you a bunch of money. There's this website called Lootbar GG, where you can save up to 25% compared to in-game purchases. Since Lootbar uses the official partnership route, you can enjoy all the official Hoyoverse recharge events, meaning you can get twice the amount of Genesis crystals if you have the bonus. This is how I purchased 6,560 Genesis crystals for only $47. All I had to do was provide my UID and make the payment, and 1 to 2 minutes later, I received the crystals on my account. No hassle. It's completely safe and secure, and has thousands of good reviews on their website. Even big shots like Dukaja, Tevat Times, and Jello Impact approve of Lootbar, so head over to the link in the description and start saving money. New users get 10% off their first purchase. Hello everyone! There's been a lot of confusion about Skirk's performance lately, and honestly, I understand where that hesitation is coming from. There's actually a very valid reason behind it, and it's worth discussing before anyone rushes to pull for her. If you're not fully aware of what she needs to shine, it's very possible to walk away feeling disappointed. That said, it's not all bad news. She can still be an outstanding character if you approach her the right way. As always, pull for characters you love and enjoy. This is just some advice for people who are confused. Let's start with what holds her back for some players. The biggest challenge with Skirk is how reliant she is on Escoffier. We're not talking about a typical support who just enhances a few numbers. Escoffier is practically locked into Skirk's design. Without her, the power drop isn't marginal. It's massive. When paired with Escoffier, Skirk can compete with some of the top-tier damage dealers. But without that synergy, she drops into a noticeably lower tier. The high damage numbers you've seen online or in previews? Yeah, those were with Escoffier in the lineup. That connection is so critical, it basically defines her performance ceiling. Make sure to join our Discord server to take part in frequent giveaways, get instant leaks and updates, and hang out with other Genshin players, including me. Link is in the description. And that's just the start. Her limitations don't end there. The second major concern is her team-building constraints. Unlike most characters who can flex into different elemental pairings or setups, Skirk demands a very specific team composition. Her talents are structured in such a way that they only activate when everyone on the team is either Cryo or Hydro. Bring in any other element, Pyro, Electro, Anemo, or Geo, and her damage starts to fall apart. That means you can't rely on the usual buffs like swirling for buffs or using Geo shields. It severely narrows down her viable team options. If you're planning to spend on Genesis crystals, don't forget to use my Lootbar link in the description to save yourself up to 25% off the original price. Go check it out if you don't believe me. Now, if you've got a deep roster with units like Yelan, Farina, Shenhe, or even Sitlali, you can build her optimally. But if you're missing some of those premium options, things get much trickier. You could run substitutes like Rosaria, Xingqiu, Charlotte, Dahlia, or Layla, but the difference in effectiveness is noticeable. It's not that those characters are bad. They just don't offer the same layered synergy or stat boosts that Skirk really thrives on. So for players who don't spend much or are still building up their character pool, this can be a frustrating roadblock. So what could lead to regret after pulling her? First, not having Escoffier is a big one. Second, lacking multiple Cryo or Hydro support characters that she depends on. Third, not owning her signature weapon or a strong replacement. And finally, not realizing how narrow her team comp requirements are until it's too late. My advice, if you already have Escoffier and are confident you can afford Skirk as well, go ahead. She can be incredibly rewarding with the right setup. But even if you lose your 50-50 and end up with someone else like Ayaka, Escoffier is still a strong support for other Cryo units, so it's not a total loss. On the other hand, if you skipped Escoffier, you might want to hold off and instead just pull for Mavuika in 5.7, the strongest unit in the game alongside Neuvillette. And if you got Kinich already, pairing him with Emily next patch would be a smart move for a solid burning team. This perspective is entirely from a meta standpoint. You should always go for the characters you genuinely enjoy. No amount of meta relevance replaces personal attachment and fun. That being said, pulling Skirk without understanding her needs or without building around her might lead to frustration. But if you're well prepared, build her correctly, and embrace her unique playstyle, she can absolutely live up to expectations. Her visual design is top tier, her attacks are beautifully animated, and her combos are deeply satisfying when they land right. Comment down below if you're pulling for Skirk or skipping her. That's all, thanks for watching and subscribe, or you'll lose your 50-50 to Chi-Chi.